Most people who buy a laser engraver make the same mistake. They buy the machine first and figure out what to sell later. That's how a machine worth thousands of dollars ends up collecting dust in a garage. But use the same machine with the right product, and the economics can get interesting fast. You can take a relatively inexpensive blank cutting board, engrave a customer's name, wedding date, or company logo onto it, and potentially sell the finished product for several times the cost of the blank. So today, I'm giving you the complete beginner blueprint. What machine to buy, what it actually costs to get started, which products have attractive margins, how to calculate your break-even point, where to find customers, and the exact script I'd use to approach my first local business. And stay until the end, because I'll show you the one product I'd personally test first if I had to start this business from zero. Let's get into it. Here's what makes this business interesting. You're not necessarily manufacturing a product from scratch. You're adding value to something that already exists. A laser uses a precisely controlled beam to engrave or cut compatible materials, such as wood, acrylic, leather, slate, glass, and certain metals, depending on the type of laser you're using. Imagine a plain cutting board sitting on a shelf. Nothing special. Now engrave. The Miller family, EST 2026. Suddenly, it's not just a cutting board. It's a wedding gift, an anniversary gift, a housewarming gift. And that's what customers are really paying for. Personalization. You're taking something ordinary and making it specific to one person. Family, event, or business. Before you spend thousands of dollars, understand that there are three major categories you'll encounter. Diode lasers, usually the cheapest entry point. They're popular with beginners and can work well for materials such as wood and leather, but they're generally slower and less powerful than larger CO2 systems. CO2 lasers. This is where things get much more versatile. Depending on the machine, you can cut and engrave materials such as wood and acrylic much faster, making CO2 attractive if you're planning to produce signs, gifts, displays, or larger quantities. Fiber lasers. Different game entirely. These are primarily designed for marking and engraving metals and are commonly used for things like tools, jewelry, industrial components, and metal products. If my goal were to build a broad personalization business around wood and acrylic products, I'd seriously consider a CO2 machine. But don't buy based on hype. Buy the machine that matches the product you're planning to sell. Now let's talk money. Your numbers will depend heavily on the machine and your workspace, but a starter budget might look something like this. Laser and accessories, $1,500 to $5,000, plus. Ventilation and workspace setup, $200, plus. Materials and testing, $300. Initial packaging, $200. Design/software, free to several $100s. That puts a basic starting budget somewhere around $2,500 to $6,000, plus. But here's the number that actually matters, your break-even point. Let's say you're $4,000 into the business, and after all variable costs, you make $40 contribution profit from each order. $4,000 divided by $40 means 100 orders to recover that initial $4,000. At 3 orders per week, that's roughly 33 weeks. At 10 orders per week, it's roughly 10 weeks. That's why asking, how quickly will this machine pay for itself, is the wrong question. The real question is, how quickly can you consistently acquire profitable customers? The machine doesn't create the ROI, sales do. And this is where beginners get themselves into trouble. They discover the machine can make hundreds of products, so they try selling hundreds of products. Don't. You could make cutting boards, wedding signs, acrylic signs, leather goods, pet tags, Christmas ornaments, restaurant table numbers, corporate gifts, tumblers with the appropriate setup, and dozens of other products. But I'd rather become the best person in my area at one profitable category than be mediocre at 20. Start narrow, prove demand, then expand. Here's another mistake, only thinking about individual consumers. Look around your town. Restaurants need table numbers, signs, menus, QR displays, and branded items. Coffee shops need signage and displays. Real estate agents buy closing gifts. Wedding planners need signage and personalized decor. Companies buy employee awards and corporate gifts. Schools and organizations need plaques, recognition items, and event products. These customers can be especially interesting because you're no longer talking about selling one personalized item. A business might need 20 or 50. And if you do good work, that same customer may order again. That's the difference between chasing individual transactions and building relationships with repeat buyers. You absolutely can sell online. Etsy, Instagram, Facebook Marketplace, TikTok Shop where available, your own Shopify store, craft fairs and local markets. But there's one channel I'd test before spending months fighting for attention online. Local businesses. Why? Because you're removing one of the hardest parts of e-commerce: global competition. Instead of competing against thousands of sellers for the phrase custom wooden sign, you could walk into a restaurant 5 minutes from your house carrying an actual sample with their logo already engraved on it. That's a completely different sales conversation. Let's use a cutting board as a simple example. Suppose your blank costs $10. You engrave a beautiful family design onto it and sell it for $50. At first glance, that looks like $40 profit. But don't fool yourself. You still need to account for things like packaging, payment fees, shipping supplies, failed engravings, electricity, machine maintenance, marketing, and most importantly, your time. That's why you need to calculate the real margin on every product instead of assuming selling price minus material cost equals profit. And there are physical headaches too. You're going to mess up material while learning. You're going to get alignment wrong. You're going to choose the wrong settings. And laser processing can produce smoke, fumes, and potentially hazardous emissions depending on the material. Proper ventilation, fire precautions, supervision, and knowing which materials are safe to laser are essential. This is a real piece of equipment. Treat it like one. Before I give you the exact launch plan, avoid these 5 mistakes. Number 1, buying a machine before choosing your market. Number 2, selling everything instead of becoming known for something. Number 3, pricing based only on material cost and forgetting labor and overhead. Number 4, using terrible product photography. And number 5, ignoring customers sitting 5 minutes away from you while competing with the entire internet. You don't need 100 perfect products to launch. You need one good product that somebody is willing to pay for. So if I were starting tomorrow, here's exactly what I'd do. Step 1, pick one market. Restaurants, weddings, real estate, corporate gifting. Pick one. Step 2, create 5 to 10 excellent samples. Not hundreds of dollars of inventory, samples. You're building a portfolio. Take great photographs and videos of every single one. Step 3, build a list of 20 local prospects. If I chose restaurants, I'd find 20 independent restaurants and cafes within driving distance. Then I'd create 1 or 2 impressive samples. Step 4, walk in with the product. And I'd say, "Hey, I'm local and I run a small custom engraving studio. I made a sample using your logo because I thought it would look great on one of these. It's yours, keep it. If you ever need matching table numbers, signs, branded gifts, or replacements, here's my information." That's it. No 20-minute sales pitch. Let the product sell the product. Step 5, track every conversation. Who did you visit? Who was interested? Who needs a follow-up? What product got the strongest reaction? Treat it like a real sales process. Step 6, film everything. Film the engraving. Film the reveal. Film the finished product. Film the packaging. Laser engraving is naturally visual, which gives you a huge amount of potential content from work you're already doing. And finally, step 7, start with one hero product. If I were testing the consumer gift market from scratch, personalized cutting boards would be high on my list. They're familiar, they're giftable, There are countless personalization possibilities, and one base product can generate dozens of different designs. But I'd test demand before buying large quantities. That's the rule. Sell first, scale second. Laser engraving isn't a magic money machine. You still need to learn the equipment, create products people actually want, price them correctly, and, most importantly, find customers. But that's exactly what makes the opportunity interesting. You can start with one machine, one workspace, one product, and one customer. Then build from there. So here's my question. If you had one laser engraver sitting in your garage tomorrow, which market would you attack first? Restaurants, weddings, real estate, or corporate gifts? Drop your answer in the comments. And if this breakdown helped you, subscribe. In the next episode, we're breaking down another machine that can potentially become an entire home-based business. I'll see you in the next one.